Hi guys, Charles here, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at the jazz standard Just Friends. We're going to be talking about a couple of interesting harmonic devices within the standard, including a backdoor 251, tritone substitution, and how those two relate to one another. We're also going to then be going through the entire tune, looking at every single bar, and talking about which scales to play. So hopefully at the end of this video you'll feel quite confident with how this tune works, and you'll be able to have a good play over it. Just Friends was written by John Klenner in 1931 and it was first performed by Red Mackenzie the same year. The original was written in E flat and that first performance was performed in E flat. So today we're going to look at this in the key of A flat because it's the key that Charlie Parker played it in, and if it's good enough for Charlie Parker, it's good enough for us. I also think it's the same key that Tony Bennett sang it in with Herbie Hancock playing the keyboard, so again, a pretty good endorsement of the key. So to work out flat key signatures, we need to use our saying, battle ends and down goes Charles's father. We know that we want to be in the key of A flat, so all we do is we simply count through the saying up to A flat and go one beyond it. We add one to the key that we want. So in this instance, that would be battle ends and is the key we want, and we add one more to it, down. So we have 4 flats in the key of A flat. The structure of the composition is an A-B-A-C structure. However, section C is so similar to section B that you might want to think of it as an A-B1, A-B2 structure. The first interesting harmonic device we want to look at in this piece is in bar 3 and 4. It's D flat minor 7 to G flat 7. This is known as a backdoor 251. Instead of coming round the front door, which would be, in this instance, B flat minor 7 to E flat 7, down to our A flat major 7, we're coming in round the back door instead. So we're going D minor 7, G flat 7, and rising up to our A flat major 7. Let's take a moment to understand why this works. Due to the maths of music, every single device can be justified many different ways. However, I think the most easy way to understand this particular backdoor 251 device is to look at the relative minor key. So let's use C major as an example. If we're in the key of C major, we know our relative minor will be A minor. So a 251 into A minor would be some sort of B chord, some sort of E chord, taking us to A. Now another device which we're going to look at another example of in Just Friends in a moment is what we call a tritone substitution. And a tritone substitution is simply that any chord can be replaced by its same chord type a tritone away, which is another way to say a diminished fifth. So this same C major example, the relative minor 251 could be B, E to A, becomes F, B flat, A. Now that F and B flat chord could resolve upwards. Instead of going to the relative minor, they instead resolve upwards to C. So we can have F minor, B flat 7, C, giving us a backdoor 251. So the reason the backdoor 251 works is because it's a tritone substitution of the 2-5 into the relative minor. In this particular key of A flat, our relative minor would be F minor, some sort of G chord to some sort of C chord, taking us to F for that minor 2-5-1. Well, let's look at the tritone substitution of G and C. G, tritone substitution, would give us D flat, in this case D flat minor, and the tritone substitution of the C chord would give us G flat, in this case G flat 7, justifying this D flat minor 7 to G flat 7. Moving on to bars 7 and 8, we have 2 non-diatonic chords. B minor 7 and E7? Well, we've already established that in the key of A flat, there are 4 flats, 2 of which are B flat and E flat, which means that B natural and E natural make no sense in this key. We can identify them as being non-diatonic. Again, if we take the tritone substitution of each of these chords, B minor 7 becomes F minor 7. And E7 becomes B flat 7. This is actually a 2-5-1 taking us into our dominant key of E flat major. It's been disguised by a tritone substitution, giving us 2 strange non-diatonic chords of B and E, but in fact they are normal chords of F minor 7 and B flat 7. Let's go through the piece understanding our key centres and the scales that we're going to be playing. So because we're in the key of A flat major, our first 2 bars are diatonic. There is a D flat major 7 in the scale. So we're just going to be playing A flat major in bar 1 and 2. It's going to give us a Lydian sound. In bar 3 and 4, when improvising over a backdoor 2-5-1, it's usually a safe bet to assume we're going to be using the melodic minor of the 2 chord. In this case, we're going to be playing D flat melodic minor. Bars 5 and 6 were on our tonic chord of A flat, so we're going to stick to our tonic scale of A flat major. In bars 7 and 8, on our tritone substitution 2-5 into the key of E flat major, we can either play E flat major ideas, which are going to sound a bit outside but interesting, or we can simply play A major ideas in a dominant setting, which would give us that Mixolydian sound. The first 4 bars of the B section, bars 9, 10, 11 and 12, all diatonic chords, all come from the key of A flat major. Bar 13 and 14, we have a non-diatonic chord here, a B flat 7. That's simply the 5 chord of an E flat major scale. The final 2 bars of the B section, that B flat 7 chord has become minorized. It's now a B flat minor 7, giving us a 2-5-1 back into our key scale of A flat major. For this second A section, the chords will be exactly the same as the first A section, so let's jump ahead. The only real change in this final B section or C section, whatever you want to name it, is we have a minor 2-5-1. Now we can always spot a minor 2-5-1 because we'll have a half diminished chord or a minor 7 flat 5 chord followed by a 7 flat 9 chord. In this case we have a G half diminished followed by a C7 flat 9. So in this instance we're going to be playing the harmonic minor of F. In our final 4 bars, we've very quickly returned back to that B flat 7 chord we discussed before, which will be an E flat major scale, and then finally back into A flat for the rest of the piece. So as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found the content in today's video useful and that you have a better understanding of what a backdoor 2-5-1 is and what a tritone substitution is and how the 2 work together to create an interesting harmonic sound. And as I said in the intro, I hope you can now go away and do a bit of improvising over this tune using your knowledge of scales and chords. Please do click that like button down below, subscribe and press the notification bell if you do want to be notified of future videos. I'm trying my best to keep up with a pretty strict schedule nowadays, so trying to get that content out there for you. Let me know down below if there's anything you'd like me to cover, or if there's anything I've discussed in the past that you'd like me to do in more detail. I would be delighted to hear from you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.
Roll up, let me embed a story you'll never forget. A drip, drip, you're drowning in debt now. You can't buy your way out. And I heard you find it difficult to cope well. Here by this bottle full of hope.